We will be filling out the unit circle in this video. I'm going to teach you how to fill out the unit circle so that you can learn it long term, not just memorize it short term. This is not just for a quiz for my students and then we can forget it. It's not that way. We will be using the unit circle values constantly for the remainder of our discussion on trigonometry. When we're graphing trig functions, which is the first thing we'll do, and then trig identities, and then solving trig equations. We will be using this unit circle constantly. You will see these values constantly in calculus as well. So we need to learn this unit circle, not just memorize it short term. So I have some notes here for you, some advice on how to approach it. So first is fill in the quadrantal angles. So we'll just do degrees first. So this would be 0 degrees. This would be 90 up here. Down here would be 180 degrees. Over here would be 270. And back all the way around would be 360. Alright, so now we're going to fill in the radian equivalent. So 0 radians here. This is, let's go around to one we know, 180 degrees, same thing as pi radians. So this would be pi over 2. I'm going to use that line as my division there. So pi over 2. So this is 1 pi over 2. So this would be over here 2 pi over 2. You'll see why I'm doing this later. And so 1 pi over 2, 2 pi over 2. Down here would be 3 pi over 2. And then all the way around would be 4, I'll write this over here, 4 pi over 2, which reduces to 2 pi. Alright, now we're going to do the second part, fill in the pi over 6 angles. So if you notice here, closest to the x-axis are all increments of pi over 6 angles. So I'll use a red color for these. So we'll put a little check mark to keep us straight here. So now we're going to go around and write all of these major quadrantal angles in terms of pi's over 6. And doing that will help you with that. So 1 pi is the same thing as 6 pi over 6. So over here is 6 pi over 6. 2 pi would be the same thing as 12 pi over 6. Alright, and right here would be 1 pi over 6. Pi over 2 is the same thing as 3 pi over 6. Notice that that just reduces to 1/2 pi or pi over 2. So if this is 6 pi over 6, one less than that right here would be 5 pi over 6. Just follow along, you'll see the pattern. So 5 pi over 6 here. This is 6 pi over 6 all the way to right here. So 1 more pi over 6 would be 7 pi over 6. So all the way around is 12 pi over 6. So 1 less than that would be 11 pi over 6. Okay, so that's the radian measure. You'll start to see the pattern. Just hang with me. Alright, so pi over 6, this is the same thing as 30 degrees. So 30 degrees away, each of these, this one, this one, this one, and this one are each 30 degrees away from the x-axis. So just use that pattern. So all the way to right here is 180, so 30 less than that would be 150. To here is 180, so now 30 more than that is 210. All the way around is 360 degrees, so 30 less would be 330. So that's our pattern. Next, let's do the middle increments. So pi's over 4. So I'm going to go around and we're going to do each of these major quadrantals in terms of a pi over 4. Alright, so let's start over here. 1 pi in terms of a pi over 4, we want to reduce to just pi. So 4 pi over 4. So halfway, half of that would be 1/2 of 4 pi over 4 is just 2 pi over 4. And if you notice, that would reduce to pi over 2. This goes away, this becomes a 2. So it reduces to pi over 2. So 2 pi over 4, 4 pi over 4. So down here I would need 6 pi over 4. And if you notice, that would reduce to 3 pi over 2. So it's the same. So notice it's going up by 2. 4 pi over 4, 6 pi over 4. So this would have to be 8 pi over 4. And I just realized I didn't fill that in down here for the pi over 6 increment, but that's okay. Alright, now let's start filling these in. So this is 1 pi over 4. Notice it's the middle increment. So this, this, and this are all going to be in terms of a pi over 4. So this would be 1 pi over 4. If right here is 2 pi over 4, one more than that would be a 3 pi over 4. And notice even if you subtract, if this is 4 pi over 4 right here, one less than that, 3 pi over 4. So 4 pi over 4 right here, one more than that is 5 pi over 4. Okay, all the way around is 8 pi over 4 over here, so one less than that is 7 pi over 4. Alright, now let's fill in the degree measures. So 45. So these are 45 increments, so to right here to this one is 45 less than 180, so 135. From here it would be 45 more than 180, so 225. We're just adding 45. And then all the way around is 360, so 45 less than that would be 315. Alright, so those angles are done. Let's use a darker green here for pi's over 3. So let's go all the way around and label these. So let's go all the way around and do the pi's over 3 here. So for the pi over 3 angles, let's come over here. This is the easiest one to start with. We want it to reduce to 1 pi, so it would be 3 pi over 3 in terms of a pi over 3. And one less than that right here would be 2 pi over 3. And we're at 0 right here, so one more pi over 3 than that would be 1 pi over 3. All the way around would be, we want it to reduce to 2 pi, so it would be 6 pi over 3. So one less than that right here would be 5 pi over 3. Alright, we're at 3 pi over 3 here, so one more than that would be 4 pi over 3. So there are our radian measures for those. And they're increments of, in this case, 60 degrees. Pi over 3 radians is the same thing as 60 degrees. So 60 degrees here, 60 less than 180 would be 120 right here. So 180 here, 60 more than that would take us to 240 degrees right here. 360 all the way around, so 60 less than that would take us to 300 degrees. Leave more room there, 300 degrees there. So there are our angle measures. So we've done the pi over 6, the pi over 4, the pi over 3. Now, the fifth step, fill in the coordinates of the first quadrant, then use the same in other quadrants and apply the signs. So here are the coordinates. Go back to red here. So this would be square root of 3 over 2 as the x coordinate and 1/2 for the y coordinate. These are both the same, square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2, and the nice thing about 30 and 60, they just switch. So 1/2 is the x coordinate, square root of 3 over 2 is the y coordinate there. And the nice thing is that now all of these values will start to repeat. So we can go around, and I'm a little out of order here, but let's fill this in. Remember, the unit circle is a circle with radius 1. So this x value is 1, y value is 0. Up here it's 0, 1. Over here it's -1, 0. Down here it's 0, -1. So there's the quadrantals filled in. I really should have used another color there. That's my fault. So the rest of the way around I'll do that. So square root of 3 over 2 and 1/2. Well, now these, notice the same increments, the pi over 6 increments, the 30-degree increments here, these will repeat. So just change the sign. So it'd be negative square root of 3 over 2 and still positive 1/2. Notice the y distance here, same thing as the y distance here. All right, now go down here. So still negative square root of 3 over 2, and it would be negative 1/2 here. So notice the values are the same, we just change the signs. So then over here, x coordinate is positive square root of 3 over 2, y coordinate would be negative 1/2. I know this is a little small, but I had to fit it all in the same video. So now let's do the pi over 4, which are the 45-degree increments. So these coordinates will repeat, just change their signs to the appropriate one. So square root of 2 over 2, and it needs to be negative for the x, square root of 2 over 2, and it'll stay positive for the y. The y coordinate is positive over here, the x coordinate is negative. So down here, put them in, same value, square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2, apply the signs. So x is negative, y is negative down here in this quadrant. Notice, same signs for each one. Over here, y coordinate is negative, square root of 2 over 2, x coordinate should be positive, square root of 2 over 2. Okay, now the green, I think I use this color green here. So now these coordinates will repeat, just change the signs. So 1/2 and square root of 3 over 2. And the x coordinate there is negative. Then down here, so it would be 1/2 square root of 3 over 2, apply the signs. So both negative down here. Here, 1/2 square root of 3 over 2, apply the signs. Y is negative, x is positive. So there we have it, the whole unit circle is filled out. I hope that you recognize the patterns. You may have to go through this again to figure that out. I am going to right now show you this first quadrant, where it's coming from. You may see that it's coming from those special right triangles. So in the second part of this video, I'm going to construct the unit circle first quadrant from those special 30, 60, 90 and 45, 45, 90 triangles.